Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Just Scene podcast. Today, I want to talk about um, something very special that's not too special anymore, and that's surprises. You feel me? That is motherfucking surprises. And this is nothing that really hit me as something that is like directed towards anybody or anything like that, or like somebody try to surprise me or some shit like that. But no. Um, but I was just thinking about collectively over time how surprises have lost their way. Surprises are no longer for the person you're surprising as much as it is for the person giving the surprise, which is selfish, which is very fucked up, and which is very wrong because, I'm learning now. Like, I was talking to somebody who was like, yo, they hate surprises. I was like, why? You shouldn't hate surprises. And it kind of got me, they were like, well, because most motherfuckers throw surprises and they don't think about the person they surprising. So I was like, well, that's why it's a surprise. They said, no, it's a surprise because they want the person to respond to a certain way. But then, and then when you don't, then you're the bad guy for not accepting a surprise that wasn't even intended for you correctly anyway, because the motherfucker didn't know, it was like, well, had the cliche rebuttal. Well, it's the thought that counts. And then it was like, well, they should have thought better. I said, whoa. And at first it was kind of like, oh, that's rude. But then it's like, no, it's not rude. It's real, because there should have been more thought in understanding me. If you're surprising me, that thought should be in you understanding me enough to throw a surprise that I would actually like. You feel what I'm saying? And that got me thinking, and then it tied back into watching the episode of Martin where Gina bought him that butt and shit. And she tried to, no, it's art, it's culture, it's this and that. He said it's an ass, it was a butt. Like, you feel me? It wasn't really, what I'm saying? It really wasn't art in that regard, because beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Like, art is based off of your own perception, experiences of life. She was forcing art on him, in a sense, forcing him to conceptualize art the way she did, the way she had been taught to appreciate it from a child. He's not that. You feel what I'm saying? So he saw the ass and shit, and it wasn't art for him in that same vein, in that same regard. But, it was a surprise thing. And then she was like, well, it was the thought that counts, but you got to think more. You still got to be able to think more than, and in that episode, when she said thought that counts, she said, it was the thought that counts. He was like, he said the gift was cool, but the thought was wrong. And it was like, in that episode, it made him the villain. It made him the bad guy and the cause of the breakup. No, it's like, you really are trying to make the surprise your thing. It's your thing. You're trying to give it to the person to make yourself feel good for giving them something. And it's like, yo, I just want to expose you to something different. I want to give you, like, did they ask you for that exposure? Did they even show you that they're in the vein for that particular exposure, or whatever the case may be? Did they show you signs that that surprise would be something that they wanted? No, you felt that you would tap into that and give that to them. And then it made me wonder, like, do we really know the people we're trying to surprise? You feel me? Do we really know who we're trying to surprise? It made me think back to when I was younger, hoeing and shit. I can pull up on certain women, like, unannounced. You know what I'm saying? Not on no, like, I got it like that type shit, but the situation, the circumstance, it aligned itself. But there's also women that I couldn't pull up on, and I knew that. You feel me? But I still treated them all as if I couldn't pull up on them, because I was like, yo, can I come over? Why would you even ask? Just come on. Or, yeah, I'm busy, I'm here and then there. Like, you know what I'm saying? It'll be little nuances and little things like that. But it's like, that showed me, like, looking back on it, I can see how the surprise is accepted by the person who you know how to surprise, which means the thought about it, And then I'm gonna go into a little bit of the other side of this, because, thought is about thinking in the moment for the future, not recalling the past. And a lot of time we try to surprise people with shit from the past of what somebody else would have benefited from or somebody else would have enjoyed. And that's a no-go. You feel me? And so when we put that into perspective and we look at life from this dynamic and we say, well, it's the thought that counts. Did you really think? because now takes away, because the fact that you surprised them and you're trying to say it's the thought that counts, is trying to absolve you from the fact that you didn't really think about who you were surprising. But before I dive heavy into that, be sure to follow me on Instagram _just_seen_. Be sure to check out my website at IamJustSeen.com to get all things that are just seen. To all who tip, donate, and sponsor to the podcast, I greatly appreciate you. To all those who would like to tip, donate, and sponsor to the podcast, you can do so by clicking the description of your podcast, not just the episode itself, but the full podcast. Cash App and PayPal are just fine. And with that being said, that's that for this and that's this for that. So we're going to take a quick break and we're going to hop into surprises. Is it the thought that counts? Oh yeah, and don't forget to visit IamJustSeen.com. There you can get all things Just Seen. You want to add the So Frail series to your library? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You want to learn how to master the market for serious trading and investing? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You want to get your hands on some exclusive merch like tees, hoodies, coffee mugs, hats, bags? Visit IamJustSeen.com. Are you thinking about transitioning into the plant-based lifestyle? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You ever want to just chat with Seen about anything from simple advice to mentorship? Visit IamJustSeen.com. Anything and everything that is me, you can find at IamJustSeen.com. So just take a quick peek into my world and see why being just seen is nothing less but always more. Because you never really know what you need until you see it. You will never see it unless you visit IamJustSeen.com. All right. Welcome back. How's everyone doing? Hope it's all good. Yeah. Now let me stop. I'm gonna dive straight into this motherfucker. So, this kind of just got me thinking, kind of concerned, because it's like I listen, and I don't want to get too wrapped up in the cliche words and the overused words over the last couple years, toxic and narcissistic, because a lot of that shit is really not that behavior. A lot of motherfuckers are just too offended of simple shit, and everything has to be toxic because they have poor conflict resolution skills. We're talking about surprises today. My bad, y'all. I'm not even gonna go down that route. But a lot of this behavior is low-key narcissistic and or toxic behavior in a sense, because I feel like how well do you not know a person to where you surprise them with something they don't want and then get mad at them for not liking the surprise? You dig what I'm saying? As people, I don't know what the fuck happened with the conditioning. It's like, I think it ties back into no, the word no. You dig what I'm saying? It's the word no. And the word no is something we hate hearing. Therefore, we hate saying it. And I think we need to get a lot more comfortable saying no. I mean, just no, not nah, or fabricating a lie to justify it and come off as no. It's like, yo, I ain't even got it, or I'm not even going. No. Say that shit with some motherfucking bass and some power in your voice. No, affirm that motherfucker. We need to get to saying no, because I'm seeing how these two things are tied into each other. You feel what I'm saying? Because we live in a world now where, because we can't be honest with people, without hurting their fucking soft ass feelings, you feel me? We can't be honest with people. Therefore, if you can't be honest with people, one side of honesty is saying no. This is why you have yes people, because it's so easy to lie, but it's hard to say no, because it's like no comes with shutting down. You've heard no as a kid damn near over 1,600 times by the time you're 6. You feel what I'm saying? And you want to hear yes, and you know the way that no hurt. And then in saying no, you can't even say, like, no is so fucked up and so programmed into the psyches and shit. You can't even say no to an adult before they tell you you're disrespectful. I had to get to this point in my older stages, and now motherfuckers call me sarcastic and smart. But I'm like, no. You ask me a specific question, I gave you an answer. They'd be like, hey, do you want to do this for me? Nope. Damn, that's rude. It's not rude. I don't want to do it. Now, if you would have asked your question correctly and said, can you do this for me? Or will you do this for me? I might change that. But you didn't ask that. You asked me, did I want to do something for you? Or the other illusory ways, don't you want to do such and such a favor? Nope. Damn, that's fucked up. Don't you want to do me a favor? No, you try to package the words accordingly so it sounds like it's in my benefit. It's not. It's not. So there's a no for that. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm tying this into this episode because the fact that we don't say no enough is the reason why motherfuckers feel they can surprise us and hit us with it's the thought that counts. No, I didn't want this. That's not my fault. I didn't want this, and you got it anyway. You feel me? That's your fault. And you're not going to make me feel bad for what you did not listen to, what you did not know, what you did not think about, you know? Like you just did whatever the fuck you wanted to do and think I'm just supposed to accept it. No, no, no. You feel me? And our ability to be able to say no and learning how to say no is heavily tied into why motherfuckers just pop up with surprises and shit. Cause it's like, oh nah, in the moment I ain't want like dudes will force, some dudes can force an engagement on a woman. She can really not be ready to marry this man. You dig what I'm saying? And he'll propose to her, do some grandiose shit at the most inopportune time, and he'll put her on blast. Like in front of everybody, it's like, damn, I will crush this man if I say no right now because I don't want this. You surprised me with something I didn't want. You dig what I'm saying? And if she says no, it's like, I'm broken, I'm this, I'm that. See it from her perspective, dude. She wasn't ready. She has the right to say no to you. I get it. Women want wedding rings. You feel me? They want wedding rings. It's like that's their ultimate goal, to have the wedding. Ain't need to really be married. It's just to get a wedding and stun on hoes. You feel me? Look at J-Lo. She on her 5th Infinity Stone right now. My dude. You feel me? Because it's a stun on these motherfuckers. And when she done, she done. You feel me? I commend J-Lo. Do your thing, shorty. Do your thing, shorty. She got like 5 alimonies. I hope they all got prenups, bro. Because if she ain't have a prenup with all 5 of them successful dudes, bro, she's a hustler. Ask about her. But real shit though. Let me bring it back seriously though. But like shit like that is like the problem with the surprise. Because now we want to tie into it's the thought that counts, but we don't contemplate that a motherfucker could say no. Because like, I'm going to surprise this person with this. And we've been so conditioned to surprises that when it's sprung on us, we just accept it and say, I'm not going to do you like that. And then now the problems come in. Because over time, it's like, bam, I did not like this. Case in point, I know a dude who his mother bought him a coat for Christmas or something like that. Now, prior to her buying him the coat, she asked him, do you want a coat? He said, no, it's not cold enough for me to wear a coat like that. She said, it is cold he said, I don't get cold enough like that to wear a coat that big. So don't get it. I'm not going to wear it. It's going to, no, you need a coat. Mother kept pressing. You need a coat because it's cold. It is then a third. And he's telling her, no, I don't need a coat that big. You feel me? I'm cool with a hoodie. You feel me? Time comes, the mother buys him the coat, right? Now, the mother thinks it's passive aggressive. She thinks it's him being funny. It's like not wearing a coat, you know, but that's not the thing. That's not the thing. He told her, I don't want the coat. I do not want this coat because I don't wear coats that big because I don't get that cold. You feel me? Now, had the mother have thought about it, you feel me? As opposed to going on what she wanted, she would have been able to listen and not got the coat. So now the mother's like, well, I wasted my money on that coat. You're damn right you wasted your money. And it was funny, like, to hear him say that shit. He's like, yeah, you wasted your money on a coat because I told you not to get it. But I told you not to get the coat, regardless of what you thought I needed or what you felt I needed. I told you, don't get it. You wasted your money on your own. Trying to, you know, that's the surprise thing. And the surprise is kind of like springing on what I want you to have. You feel me? Whether I know if you want it or not, or whether I care if you want it or not. You dig what I'm saying? It's little shit like that. And it's like, you know, hearing a dude tell his mama no like that and shit, it's like most motherfuckers like, man, I'm just gonna wear it because it's like, oh man, here she go with this shit. It's like, nah, he's like, nah, bro, it was not cold enough for me to wear it. You're like, she bought me that coat as if I'm anemic, bro. I'm not. I don't get that cold. Like my body is naturally hot. I can, you know what I'm saying? It made sense. It made sense when you put it on page. Like, yeah, bro, you really don't need a jacket that big. You don't need a coat that big. You feel me? Broke down the weather don't get but such and such. And I was like, I guess you don't. You feel what I'm saying? He said, now, if she would have listened to me when I said it, she wouldn't have wasted the money. You feel me? Now the coat just sitting there and he like, I don't need to wear it. I don't need to wear it. And she's upset because it's collecting dust. She feels like she wasted the money. You wasted your money because you did not listen. You did not pay attention to what was said. You feel me? So that's just, on a grander scale, that's on a scale of people tying that back into the Martin and Gina thing, tying it into people doing what they want you to have, trying to surprise you or give you something, despite whether they see you involved in it or not. You dig what I'm saying? And then and it's like, so now when you actively tell a motherfucker like, yo, that's not what I fuck with, and they get it anyway, it's like, yo, you'll like it. All right. You feel me? That's forced manipulation. Like, yo, you'll like it. I knew you'd see it my way. It's little shit like that we grow up on. It's like, okay, cool. And it all derives from not being able to say no. And simultaneously, what promotes our ability to surprise motherfuckers is not being able to take no for an answer. Yeah, a motherfucker said no. That means no. No. It's only 2 fucking letters. Why the fuck is it so hard to comprehend? You feel me? No is one of the smallest letters in the English language, and it's the hardest word to fucking comprehend. Ain't that some shit? You feel what I'm saying? 2 fucking letters, and motherfuckers can't break the bitch down and comprehend it. So much so that no can be translated into so many different languages and still have the same energy still, and motherfuckers can't get it. No, nah, I'm good, chill. You feel what I'm saying? In different, capacities. 9, nah. You feel me? No. You feel me? No, it's so many different ways you can say no, but motherfuckers don't hear it ever. And so we end up here, having conversations about things where people try to surprise other people. You feel me? And when you listen to a motherfucker, like, my sister don't like surprises. I don't surprise my sister for shit. I run everything by her. The first time she said, I don't like surprises. Oh, okay. I'm never going to surprise you again. Never tried. Never tried again. Now, not in the sense of, and not surprising her, but like, I don't think it's a surprise. Like, if she mentioned she wanted something, I'll get it. And I'm like, oh yeah, you said you wanted this. That's not a surprise. That's like, okay. And that's now ties into the thought that counts. You feel me? It's the fucking thought that counts. And, and now I understand the reciprocation and the reverberated language, because before my sister gets me anything, she'll send me a picture of it and say, you like this? If I say, nah, I'm cool, she won't get it. Now we'll talk about it. She'll like, yeah, I was going to get you something like that, but you told me you ain't like it. Okay. I can dig that. You listen. It was literally the thought that counted. But, you don't have everybody like that. A lot of people aren't like that. A lot of people say, I'm going to surprise this person because I want this person to feel, I want this person to know how I feel about them. So I'm going to surprise them with something. They can't know about the surprise, of course, because it's a surprise. So how can the thought factor in if you don't know whether this person's going to like this shit or not? So now when the shit happens in a surprise, oh, you don't want this? Oh my gosh, I put so much time and effort and gas time and all of this other shit going here. Don't guilt trip me. Hey, on some real shit, I'm going to do a quick tangent real quick to address motherfuckers who think about surprising me. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, please. Not that I don't like surprises or anything like that, but do not run a surprise if you have not in some way, shape, and form cleared it to where you're 100% solid that I'll fuck with it. Because if it conflicts with anything that I'm doing, please believe I'm going to reject it. I have no problems with saying no anymore. My throat chakra is very clear. And there are a lot of people like that. You feel me? There are a lot of people like that. So talking with my niece, my youngest niece, which is my sister's daughter. I love how my sister is raising her because she's allowing her to speak. When my niece don't like something, she'll say, no, I don't like that. And I'll be like, okay, and back up. That's it. It ain't no, you ain't even tried it. I remember one time I was in undergrad. You feel me? And again, this ties into, dealing with people who don't know how to say no, but also being on the other side of that of people who can't take no for an answer. This is literally like some Tina Ike Turner shit, but it was just reversed. I was dealing with this woman, we was in the caf eating, and she had a piece of cake, and she was like, this cake is so good. She like, Racine, taste it. I was like, no, just taste it. It's no, just taste it. It's just a little piece. No. And now she's getting upset because I won't taste the cake. That she's like, now she didn't force it in my face and no shit like that. But like we literally like, and I laughed in her face. That's what I think. That's what sent it on the next level because I laughed in her face. I laughed hard too, because then it started getting to the point where my laugh became sinister because I knew I was getting to her. But it started off as a chuckle, like it was like, "Nah, I'm good." And I'm trying to downplay it, like, "Yo, I'm good, man. I don't want the cake, man. Leave me alone." She's like, "Damn, it's just cake." I said, "I know, it's just fucking cake." And I said, "Fucking no. Leave me the fuck alone." And eventually started laughing at her. So I'm not eating the fucking cake. She's like, "You think it's funny too?" Yes, I do think it's funny because you're being stupid. You're being real stupid right now. I said, "Do you not see?" And I'm looking at the table. I said, "Y'all see how she acting?" Everybody's like, "Yo, chill, girl. It's just cake." It's not that. He act like he can't never taste something because I asked him to taste it. I don't want to fucking taste it. Like the fuck, I don't want no damn cake. It's that simple. Why the fuck can it be no? You feel what I'm saying? Because you have people who can't take no for an answer. And all these things, I think this episode is now, it's probably gonna have a different title, but this episode is now tied into surprises, no's, and thoughts because it's like all of these shits go hand in hand. You dig what I'm saying? All this shit goes hand in hand. Motherfuckers, because we don't know how to say no, because we don't know how to, because we may have a fear of saying no. We assume somebody else is not going to say no to us because we say yes to everybody. No, sir. No, ma'am. Not me. There's motherfuckers who are really comfortable in saying no. You feel me? And then you have the guilt trips too. It's like, well, when you ask me to do this, I do it anyway. It's your fault. I don't be wanting to do such and such. It's your fault. The fuck? Quick tangent. Talk about sex and dudes. You feel me? Dudes, you can try to guilt your lady. Shit, I'm not in the mood for tonight. Oh, but when I'm not in the mood, I still got to give it to you. You don't have to. You choose to. Say no. But now if I say no, she got to eat that, not you. You said no. Fuck what she think. Fuck where her mind goes. That ain't got nothing to do with you. You dig what I'm saying? Start saying no. Learn to say fucking no. Especially us. We need to learn to say no to vagina too. Following the episode of semen retention. But again, I'm not backtracking. We're going to stay in the vein of surprises and shit. Because you have people that will observe you and try to observe you and monitor you and only catch the shell and not know what's up. So they're trying to, I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to do this. Women often do it a lot too. I want to take care of your heart. I want to give you this. I want to give you. They don't spend time knowing you. They spend time doing what they think you should do or giving to you what they think you should have or doing for you what they think, what brings them peace for doing. I didn't like it. And now you're mad because now you want to tell me it's the thought that counts. Now you want to feel like I'm attacking you as a person when you are forcing something on me that I didn't want. You ever think of that? Nope, you didn't. You know why? Because you always talk, cater to your man, brush his hair and put his do-rag on. The fuck? I know it's more to catering. I'm using that for dramatic effect and shit. But it's little shit like that is like, women can get tied into that. You dig what I'm saying? And as men, we can be guilted into it with the simple phrase, it's the thought that counts. But did you really think? Did you really think about it? And if the answer is yes, that they thought about it, it's like, that means that there's a disconnect. There's something we're communicating to where you surprise me with something I don't like. Now, what side the communication and the disconnect is on, I'm not going to say yay or nay to that or whose side is really on, but there's a disconnect of some sort. So much so that whatever the fuck it is that I'm communicating to you causes you to give me something I don't like, surprise me with something I don't want. The fuck? You see how that doesn't make sense? I don't like this. Well, it's the thought that counts. I thought you would like it. Surprises are very revealing. Not only of the person being surprised, but the person doing the surprising. Because it's like, did you really fucking pay attention? Do you really pay attention to this person? You feel me? Here's the surprise. Oh, I don't like this shit. You feel me? Tying it back to the dudes who try to marry women in public places on some grandiose shit. You got to eat that. You got to always anticipate when you're proposing to a woman. And for the sisters proposing to men, when you proposing to a motherfucker, I gotta get this serious. When you're proposing to a motherfucker, you gotta anticipate still that they could say no. Because they still have the choice to say no. Just because you go all out, you put all of the shit, you've been fucking them good, cooking, cleaning, doing all the shit, buying all of the shit and everything, whatever. And then you go to a public place, you feel me? You get down on one knee, music playing, camera shit, all of this shit. You propose and they say no, or I'm not ready. Don't act like you didn't know. Don't act like you didn't know. Oh, I thought you know. You thought because it's been 2.5 years. You thought because society says you got to go down this route at this particular time. You thought that this was the case. But did you think about them and what they think about what you're about to do? How would they possibly respond to this? Because some motherfuckers don't like surprises. Some motherfuckers ain't ready for the surprise you're trying to give them. Some people don't want the surprise you're trying to give them. You dig what I'm saying? Are you fucking with me on that? So now you want to make it their fault. I was watching the game years ago, and when Derwin, he first proposed to Melanie and shit, he did that shit on national TV. Proposed to her, and she was like, Derwin, I'm not ready yet. He was like, damn, I proposed to you on national TV, blah, 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 blah. She said, but I told you I wanted to finish school first. I told you I have to focus on med school so I can graduate and do all of these things. I wasn't trying to get married yet. You didn't listen. So the thought that you thought counted wasn't about me. That thought was about you. And how I could satisfy your ego by you feeling like if the surprise is validated, I now feel good. So now it's like, I surprised you with this, that, and the third. So now when shit goes sour, you could throw it in their face. A lot of these surprisey motherfuckers be narcissists. Fucking Narcissus wildlife. You feel me? These motherfuckers be on some other shit. And they intend to surprise you because it's like, now I feel like I gave you something that I think you should. No. A surprise is best given when the person wants the surprise. You dig what I'm saying? Watch one of these Black Love photo shoots, because I love seeing them. When a woman is, she's thinking she's just getting a photo shoot, and the dude is like turn around, and the cameraman like turn around, or the camera person, but nah, with the cameraman is like, you'll turn around and shit. And they turn around, and he's like, then her husband gets on his knee or whatever the case may be, and he's, taking shots like, now look up to the sky, do this, do that. He said, now turn around. And then when she turn around, she sees it, and she's like, and then they start snapping the pictures and shit. Them shits be so dope because she wanted the surprise. This is why when you see those videos where as soon as the woman sees it, she's like, and Brace now starts crying. She wanted that shit. You feel me? She wanted that shit. Like, she wanted that surprise. You feel me? Therefore, she said yes. Therefore, it was the thought that counted because that person knew what the thought was. You feel what I'm saying? What the reason and the reasoning is for surprising this person. The average motherfucker has not spent enough time with the other average motherfucker to know what the fuck really the average motherfuckers like to be surprised with. However, they base everything on what society says the average motherfucker likes. You dig what I'm saying? I remember I was in undergrad. I have a lot of stories from undergrad, but I was in undergrad, and this woman, we had a moment, and she invited me over and shit, and she walked into the dorm room with a little suit from one of them Adam and Eve type stores and shit, nipples cut out and shit, just thongs, some cowgirl shit, and I was like, ooh, and I was like, now mind you, we wasn't even rocking that long, you feel me? But it was on some shit like, what is, because I wanted to surprise you with something. I mean, it's cool for what it is. She's like, oh, you don't like it? I'm like, at this point, it's just sex. I mean, I don't care. I didn't like no funny shit. But it's like, you feel me? You didn't have to wrap the package up nicely. I've already gotten the package. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was savage with the shit like that. But it was like her surprise wasn't received the way she thought it was gonna be. Like my thing was like, it ain't gonna make the sex any different or the sex any better. It ain't like you gonna fuck me longer or do nothing different. It's just like, you know, the fuck. I didn't get the purpose of it. I really didn't get the purpose of it. Mind you, I was like 19 years old. The fuck, you still naked? You still gonna take that? You just got less clothes off. Like, and it's like she didn't really do shit special. It was nothing really different. So it was like, it's really not surprised. I'm surprised that, oh wow, damn, I didn't know you was gonna do this shit. You feel me? Because it was like, here's the thing. Her intent was to surprise me, right? And this is not to slander her or anything like that. I'm speaking on surprises and shit because her intention was to surprise me. But of course, you don't tell somebody about a surprise. So she's like, I want you to come over later. All right, cool. I'll be over there. You feel me? She wanted me to come at a particular time. She didn't say the time. She didn't say now. She just said, yo, come over. I said, all right, cool. So I smoked me a blunt and I was high. So time went by and I was like, oh shit, let me go over there. So I go over there and shit. And she's like, you took too long to get over here. You kind of ruined the surprise. And I said, I didn't know I was surprised. I didn't know any of this shit was supposed to be happening. I didn't plant a seed and say, yo, throw me, put on one of them dresses, things and cowgirl suits, and then, put it on me. No, that wasn't a surprise because then I still ended up doing all the fucking anyway. The fuck, you gonna surprise me to do the work that I was gonna have to do anyway? You wasted your money because all you did was buy a suit and everything else stayed the same. The fuck? It wasn't nothing special in that. It wasn't nothing like it wasn't really a surprise in that shit. You dig what I'm saying? And I'm saying that to tie into the reality of, that's the surprise. And I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna flip it on a coin flip. You feel what I'm saying? I tried to surprise a motherfucker one time. It wasn't shit. It wasn't like, I'm like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, damn, bro, like you don't even like it a little bit? Like a little bit? Like, you feel me? On some shit like, I'm telling her, like, you know what I'm saying? We was beefing for a minute. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm like, hey, we're gonna go to the movies, we're gonna do this shit and all of that. So I'm like, I'm gonna throw some prizes. I'm gonna pull up on you and do all this shit. She's like, what are you doing here? Like, took her out and all these things and shit like that. And it was like me doing it because I felt like we was in a rocky space. You feel me? So I'm like, okay, let me see if this will fix shit. You feel what I'm saying? Surprise her with something, pull up on her, spend this on her, go out to eat, go have fun and shit. At the end of this motherfucking beautiful ass night. And when I say this motherfucking night was beautiful, this night was a fucking beautiful ass night. You feel me? At the beautiful end of the motherfucking night, she says, this doesn't change anything. I'm still mad. What? I was like, not only did I not fuck up now, the fuck up that I did, okay, I'm gonna tell the truth. I fucked up because I hugged this girl that I used to talk to and try to get at, but she curved me and she wouldn't fuck with me. So it was like, her roommate had called me over to help her with some homework. So I went over there and helped her with some homework and then left. And she was like, oh my gosh. And as I'm having this last conversation with this woman, she was like, I said, look, when I tried to, she's like, I see you done moved on. I was like, yeah. I said, when I tried to fuck with you, you left me hanging. You left me hanging. She said, well, that's because I didn't know it was serious or what. I said, now you do. And now I'm out. She was like, just like that? Just like that. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I made a mistake. You're not sorry. You didn't make a mistake. You did what you were supposed to do. And it's cool. We can move forward from that. She was like, well, can I at least have a hug? And I was like, yeah, you can get that. So I gave her a hug or whatever the case may be. Now, I didn't tell the girl at the time that I gave her a hug. But I slipped up and ended up telling her that I gave the girl a hug because I was high. You feel me? And I was like, yeah, man, I gave her a hug and dip. She said, you told me you didn't hug her. She was mad for a whole year after this shit. I was like, all right, cool. It's just a hug. I ain't really think nothing of it. Again, I'm a kid. I'm like 18, 19 years old. I'm not tripping too heavy. So, like I said, we go on this, I pull up on her, take her out. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was a real ass dope ass thing. And at the end of this motherfucking night, she said, this doesn't change anything. I'm thinking, damn, I surprised you to try to show you that I'm still like, you feel me? And it showed me the power that if a motherfucker don't want a surprise, they not going to want a surprise. It don't matter if the thought's there or not. You feel me? Because if your thought is there for one thing and their thought is somewhere else, your surprise is going to be null and void. And it's not on them being ungrateful. It's not on them being fucked up people. It's on you having a fucked up perception and wanting an expectation out of something that they didn't want. You feel me? They didn't want it. And you didn't know they didn't want it. Why? Because you didn't ask. And I get it. Why ask if it's going to be a surprise? That's the point. That means that you need to be asking ahead of time in order to make the surprise work. You feel what I'm saying? But we don't do that. We don't do that because it's ego, it's arrogance, it's our own feelings that we're trying to get off on when we throw a surprise for somebody. You feel me? You seen Big Daddy. We wasted the good surprise on you. You feel what I'm saying? The surprise wasn't even you. It is in that moment when he walked in first. The dude's girlfriend was like, she was like, they was like, surprise. Oh, it's just Sonny. He was like, yeah, it's just Sonny. And then Sonny left the door open. So then the dude walked in. He was like, hey, what's going on? It was like, hey, surprise. And then she was like, we wasted the good surprise on you. It was funny, but in that moment, it revealed, like, dude didn't know anything about a surprise. The surprise wasn't for him; it was for his girlfriend to feel good about what she gave him, what she did for him. Now, let's just say, he wasn't there. Like, you feel me? And he wasn't even built for surprises. He didn't even want surprises. And he came in and mad. What about if a motherfucker got PTSD, like a motherfucker, and you just pull up on him? And they walk into their house, lights off, and everybody pop up, surprise, and he starts shooting. Nigga shot me. Oh, no. I seen a threat and I shot. It couldn't register who it was. You feel me? I seen a situation one time where this dude and his girl, like, I don't know if they weren't arguing, but you feel me? Dude was deep in the streets, like deep, deep, deep in the streets. And I'm walking down the street and like I see his girl pulling up, but nobody knows it's his girl because she pulled up in a different car. Surprise. I'm trying to surprise him. She accelerates the gas. She accelerates the car down the street. All you hear is skirt. I see the dude sprint off to the side in the grass and pull his gun out. And she rolled down the window and said, baby, it's me, it's me, it's me, it's me. He said, girl, I almost killed you. Like, seeing that shit made my heart stop in the moment. It was just like, somebody about to die. Shots about to fire. And she was like, it's me. Chill. She said, damn, you was really going to shoot me? He said, you pull up in a different car with tents on it. I can't see in this motherfucker and I'm beefing with people. And you going to say I'm wrong for being like surprised? He said, you surprised the wrong motherfucker. He said, don't surprise me with no shit like that. Real shit. Motherfuckers get fucked up on some shit like that. I know that's an extreme, but it's real. It's real. That shit, it scared me watching that. I ain't even gonna hold you, because when you hear the tire screeching, you don't know, you can't tell if that's his girlfriend or if it's a drive-by. If it's some motherfuckers about to hit him, like, you feel me? All you see is him sprint off and pull a gun. And it's like, oh shit, what's about to happen? Time stands still. You feel what I'm saying? But that's the extreme side of surprises. Sometimes it's like, if the motherfucker don't want the surprise, then you got motherfuckers who can't handle surprises. Again, PTSD motherfuckers, people that go certain extremes, it's certain things that you really cannot do as a surprising person. Oh, I like surprising people. It's almost like those people who say, I'm a hugger. Bitch, don't hug me. I'm not. You feel me? I went to this church one time, undergrad. I don't know, a lot of undergrad stories are going to come out between no and surprises, right? So I went to church with my girlfriend at the time. She's like, we need to get back in church, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's that whole, like, you feel what I'm saying? The whole shit was a facade. Like, you were not even as churchy as you say you was. Like, all of the shit, you feel me? But I was accepting of the fact that I wasn't churchy. You feel me? I get right before I die. Like, you feel me? That's how I felt. But, I didn't glorify it and try to act like I was some holy, righteous motherfucker and shit, But anywho, so we go to this church and, I meet, like, it was like one of her teaching friends or some shit like that, or something. They invited her to the church. So I was like, yeah, I'll support you. I'll go. I don't give a fuck. Like, I was like, cause I'm, me, I started studying the Bible then, but I was, reading is like the church is within. It ain't, I don't give a fuck. I can go anywhere and feel church. You feel me? Cause I knew I was tapped in, but I wasn't tapped in. You feel me? So I go to the church and I'm trying to shake the lady's hand. Yo, it's like I'm about to extend my hand. She says, I'm a hugger, and I stiff arm her. Like, I pushed her right in the chest. I said, I don't hug people. I don't hug people I don't know. You feel me? Now I've gotten older and I've gotten more mature to, be more tolerable of the shit because I understand I can respect that shit. You feel me? Because it's like, it was different. Like, it was like, if I knew you, I could hug you. I didn't know why I was doing that. But now I understand, energy transfers, people hugging you tight, they touching you and shit. It's different. It's different now that I understand. But it's like, if I don't know you, don't hug me. So I like stiff armed her hard. Like, it wasn't hard in the chest. It was like, quick, bow, back up. She was like, ooh. And I was like, I'm sorry. I said, I don't hug people. And then she just went back to shake my hand and shit. And my girl was like, you didn't have to do that. She didn't have to reach out and hug me. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if that's your friend. I don't know her. Why you so mean? I'm not mean. You can't just be hugging people. Everybody's not touchy-feely. You feel what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck if you're a hugger. I'm not. Asked if the motherfucker, are you a hugger? Can I give you a hug? The fuck you mean you just gonna enforce the hug on a motherfucker? No. Like I said, my throat chakra's unblocked now. You dig what I'm saying? My throat chakra's unblocked. I don't do that shit, bro. It's a part of that no shit, but it's all like, you can't spring a surprise on me. You feel me? So I said that to say this, like, the surprise was she's a hugger. I didn't like the surprise. The fuck? So I don't want the surprise. But I'm a hugger. I don't give a fuck if you're a hugger. I'm not. Don't violate my boundary. I don't hug people. You feel me? I do not hug people I don't know. You feel me? Because don't touch me. Don't fucking touch me. You feel me? But that's a part of, that kind of ties into this shit. You feel what I'm saying? Now, if you're a podcast listener and shit, and you feel like, damn, man, if I first seen and I give him a hug, damn, I know not to give him one. You're right. Yes, you know not to give me one. Shake my hand, please. Unless we have made some kind of understanding where you know me and we have communicated. You can speak to me and we can have like, don't hug me. Don't hug me. You feel me? I barely hug family members like that. You dig what I'm saying? But I think that's probably where it came from. Hugging family members that I know talk bad about me or I know had hidden agendas or I felt their energies being off. And because, it's family, give them a hug. Fuck no. I don't hug people. I don't hug people like that no more. I don't. But anywho, I digress. That was a part of the surprise. Motherfuckers just pull up. You feel me? Motherfuckers just pull up. Don't do no shit like that. Do not do no shit like that. You feel me? Now, granted, I've seen situations where motherfuckers got caught cheating because somebody wanted to surprise a motherfucker. Now, if you're going to be a cheater, if you're going to be an infidel, make sure you understand. Make sure the motherfuckers you fucking with understand that you don't like surprises. Stupid motherfucker. If you're going to cheat all the way and cheat 100% right. The fuck? You feel me? You can't date a motherfucker. If you're going to be a cheater, if you're going to be an infidel, you need to make sure that it is clear that you do not like surprises. You feel me? Do not date somebody who likes fucking surprises. You feel me? I just seen this post on Instagram where this shorty is moving, right? This shorty is moving. And her man, like, I think they broke up or some shit like that, but her man went back into her old apartment, blew up the air mattress and brought another random chick in there, right? It's like, bruh, that's a surprise, my guy. For anybody. Don't do no shit like that if you're going to be a cheater. You dig what I'm saying? Don't. And like, so shorty popped up and now he's like, oh, nigga, you know cheating does not require a surprise. Why put yourself in a situation where you can be surprised? Because that is not a good surprise that you want. You dig what I'm saying? There was no thought in that. You feel me? So now it's like, we look at, there's so many different webs to this shit that it can go with how surprises work and shit. It's not just the good shit. Surprise. Oh no, surprise. Nigga, she pulled up on me, man. How'd she know where I was at? Your homeboy told her. Nah, I'm bullshit. I don't know. But it's like, these are things that is like, it now caters into other levels of things. I was dealing with a woman one time who told me that she had friends who cheated on their men. Like friends. I'm like, Y'all fuck with each other? Like y'all, I should be like, I be trying to tell them that not to do X, one, but they still your friends. Well, not. All right, all right. I ain't tripped. I ain't tripped, but I wasn't surprised when shit went left. You're not even mad. See, this is why you had to go this way, because you don't care. I don't care because I seen the shit coming. I'm not surprised at this. The fuck? This ain't had shit to do with me. This has shit to do with who you are and them birds you flocking with. You dig what I'm saying? And it's like, oh my gosh, you didn't make a mistake. These are your friends. This is who you are. This is your niche. This is where you're comfortable. You can't get surprised at certain shit. You feel me? So when they talk about it's the surprise, it's the thought that counts. Yeah, sometimes it's thought on both sides. All right. Look. The markets are not a difficult place to understand. All right. You just have to know what you're looking at. And there's 5 things that you need to see before you can make any market entry. First, you need a pocket so you can know which direction the market is going in. Second, you need a pullback so you can get the better price. Third, you need a battlefield so you can see when that market movement is slowing down. Fourth, you need the upper hand so you can see when the market reactivates. And last, you need a final push so you can see the exact moment when it's time to go with the direction you are already moving in. Okay? Of course, there's so much more that has to go into that, and it's not as cut and dry as that. But those are things that I teach in my Mastering the Market course. So if you would like to learn more, please visit IamJustSing.com and check out the Mastering the Market course today. Although it is directed and specialized for Forex, all of the skills, I crafted them to be transferable to any market that you're looking at. So again, visit IamJustSing.com and check out the Mastering the Market course today if you are truly looking to master the market. You feel me? You can't be surprised when you know how a motherfucker think. You're supposed to. You feel me? But it's like when the thought that counts, is what's important. And then, like I said, and then with that situation, like it happens all the time. I'm like, well, you were never there. You were this. You were that. Tie it back to the game. When Derwin finally, when he got caught cheating with Drew Sidora and shit, and Melody was like, Melody, where were you? I needed you. And then she said, I was in a relationship. I was studying for med school. I was doing all these other things. I was not cheating. But I needed this. I needed that. Like, you can't be surprised at that shit. You feel what I'm saying? You can't be surprised. I own the shit that I do. I own the shit that I did when I was talking to women trying to build my entrepreneurship. And, are you going to come out? I try. And I was really going to go and see them and travel because long distance was working for me because I was able to build my shit. So it was working. But it was also, too, that, I couldn't just deviate. And then the universe was literally blocking me at every turn. Every turn it was time to go see this woman, it was just like, can't do it. Here you go with this and all this shit. All right, cool. I'm not, I'm not breaking my shit. So it is what it is. She was like, I'm not even surprised because all you do is work. All you do is stay structured. You're such a robot and everything. So why are you so mad if you're not surprised? You knew what the fuck you was dealing with. You knew what the fuck you know what I'm saying? I told you just to be patient and let me finish my shit. Motherfuckers don't never want to let you finish your shit because they so worried about their shit. Foul, bro. Foul. But anywho, it's the surprising shit that pisses motherfuckers off because the surprise doesn't go in their favor. You feel me? Surprises don't go in their favor. And like I said, it comes into, not being able to say no, not being comfortable telling motherfuckers no, not being able to hear no and taking no for an answer. That surprises, it's not just like, is it the thought that counts? Because it's like, did you think? Fuck if the thought counted, did you think? Because now I'm getting disrespectful when I ask you that shit. It's the thought that count, but did you fucking think about it? I did think about, no, did you think about me or did you think about how it was going to make you feel? You feel what I'm saying? I'm going to get you this red shirt. I don't like the color red, right? But I think it'll look nice on you. The fuck does it matter if it's going to look like nice on me or not if I don't like the color? You dig what I'm saying? That's how motherfuckers think. What I feel for you, what I want to get out of this is how I'm going to surprise you. See why I say it's low-key narcissism? See why I say it's low-key ego? It's all of these things. It's toxic and all this shit. But you don't want to use those words too much because motherfuckers have overused them. Motherfuckers have overused them so much so that everybody's a narcissist. Everybody's a narcissist. Even down to some, if a motherfucker disagree, oh, narcissist, you toxic. Bitch, you wrong. The fuck? That's not toxic. That's not narcissistic. You feel me? Oh, nah, you're a narcissist. You're a narcissist. Everybody's like this. And this be, I think, low key, this is why I'm whispering because it's low key. I think that narcissists are the motherfuckers calling everybody narcissist. Low key. Low key. And the reason why I say that shit is because I think in their narcissistic mentality, they have attached to this shit as a form of deflection. And they have rode the wave to play victim in their narcissistic ways. And now they can say everybody's a narcissist to them. So I'm finding that it's more narcissist. Like when I listen to some of the people who use narcissists over and over and over again, I'm like, you know, you got narcissistic tendencies, right? I'm not a narcissist. All right, you may not be. You just got the tendencies. It's like, you feel me? I ain't calling you a hoe. I'm just saying you got hoe tendencies. I ain't saying you a gold digger. You just ain't messing with the broke niggas. I ain't saying you narcy, but you got some narcy tendencies. You feel what I'm saying? It's like that. You know, it's like that. And you know what I mean? I think like because we try to define it and the fact that it's so the narcissistic thing is so deeper than what people really think. And it's like because people only understand what they learn off of Twitter and Instagram that they just run with it. Yeah, that person was a narcissist. You feel me? That person was a narcissist down to where they say, okay, this sign is a narcissist. I can't deal with these people. And I got to ask them, do you bring the narcissism out of people? You ever thought of that shit? What if you bringing the narcissism out of people? Some people are natural narcissists and they actually prey on weak people. They prey on kind-hearted people. They siphon off light. Some people don't. Do you bring the narcissist out of a motherfucker? Did you meet that modest person and then you kept trying to make them, you made them arrogant because you kept trying to make them keep up with a life that they didn't like or they didn't operate from, that you don't really operate from? Like, you feel me? Like I said, I always talk about, you know, dealing with bad bitches when I was young, you know, just for the sake of conversation. I don't refer to women as bitches anymore. But, you know, when I used to fuck with the bad bitches and shit, I would meet them and it's like, you are fucked up on the inside. And you're walking around like you're fine. You need help. You need therapy. Like, you are fucked up on the inside. You feel me? Because I'm fucked up too. But I'm not willing to project like I'm not fucked up. I'm going to deal with the issues that I have. But it's like, they be so bad on paper, on social media, on this shit. But then when I get them on the one-on-one, it's like, yeah, I don't feel this way. I don't feel like this about myself. And I feel like this. So why you fronting? That's narcissistic behavior, bro. Sis, all y'all. Why you flexing? You feel what I'm saying? Narcissistic dudes and shit, they be, you know, they get on their shit where I feel fly. I feel confident in myself because of what I'm wearing. You feel me? You know, you created your own narcissism. You feel me? You may not have necessarily been like that, but you became this arrogant being and shit. It's like when you get them one-on-one, and, you know, man, yo, this shit hard, bro. I can't do all this, but I'm a baller though. Man, bro, man, I just missed out on a bill. Nick, what the fuck was you in the club for, stupid? You ain't have to be short. You went in this motherfucker pop bottle. That was your rent money, motherfucker. Could have stayed your ass home, bought the same fucking bottle for a tenth of the motherfucking price, turned up on your own radio. But no, you had to be seen. You had to be somewhere. You feel me? Let me get back to the topic and shit of surprises and shit. But anyway, it's like that though. You know, it's motherfuckers like that who are the ones who, it's the thought that counted. It's the thought that counted. The thought of what? What did you think about? Like, I really want to ask motherfuckers when they surprise people with shit that people don't like and they mad at the people. I'm like, what did you think about? Well, that's the thought that counts. They could have just accepted it. No, you're mad they won't accept it because you won't accept that you didn't think about them. You thought about your motherfucking self. You dig what I'm saying? Women will buy a man a shirt like this. I want you to wear this shirt. I think you will look nice with this shirt. It ain't my style. Just wear the shirt. It ain't my style. See, it's the thought that counted. You just ungrateful. I'm not ungrateful. You're unthankful. It's not a word. You feel me? But you unthankful, motherfucker. You didn't think about me. You thought about how you felt I should look in this shirt or how my look would appeal to you. You feel me? Not how I would actually feel in this shirt. Because even if you think a motherfucker can look good in a shirt or whatever the case may be, if they don't have the confidence to wear that shirt, it's not going to work. They have to still feel good to make it look good. People don't pay attention to that styling and clothing and shit like that. You feel me? How many motherfuckers we know with all these motherfucking gold chains and all of these polos and all of this other shit and still look corny? It's like, they don't even fit you, dog. You don't even, it don't even look right on you. Shorty will wear motherfucking the track suits and all these other things, and because they see that I think I will look good in that. And you know, some look good in them, some look bad in them. And it's not the fact that you actually look bad in the motherfucker, not from a body type or anything like that. It's the confidence that you're able to wear. It's the confidence that has to come out too. You feel me? Some people don't necessarily have the confidence for the thing you're trying to surprise them for. And you can't get mad at them for not wanting it. You dig what I'm saying? I'm going to use Clubhouse and myself for an example. You feel me? I'm not built for Clubhouse. I'm too big for Clubhouse. Clubhouse is stupid to me now. But I took on the people. Everybody, I think you would do good on Clubhouse. I think you should check out Clubhouse. And I think the thing was, me doing a podcast and shit. I was like, cool, I'm already talking anyway. No, it's not the same shit. Because it's a conversational piece. Now you're conversing with people who you have to realize people don't understand how I process conversations sometimes. I'm going to get back on track, but I just want to say this. People don't realize how I process conversations. Every conversation I have with people, I am gauging what level they're on. Not on no inferiority shit, like a superiority shit, like, oh, I'm above them, I shouldn't be talking to them. No, I gauge what level they're on so I know how to speak with them. You feel what I'm saying? My podcast, I can speak from whatever level I need to when I want to. You feel me? Because I don't have to worry about the conversation, who can get it, who can't get it. I don't give a fuck at this point because I'm just giving the information. If you can't get it this time, wait a little while. It'll process in a different way. But I understand how to communicate with people. So on that Clubhouse shit, it's not people that can communicate with people. They know how to talk. This is why it's like you're hearing these conversations and shit, and it'd be like 20 motherfuckers on the stage. And then it's like, yo, I piggyback on what you're saying, or this, that, a third, or this, and like nobody's listening to communicate because nobody's able to communicate with who they're talking to. And now you're communicating with so many different levels of people at one time. You feel me? Motherfuckers, yo, I want you to come into the woke room. They'll ping me into the woke room. I go into the woke rooms and shit, and you have different levels of wokeness. Different levels of motherfuckers is like, but everybody's sounding the same, but everybody isn't on the same level. So if I'm speaking to one person, and now this next person speaks, now I want to piggyback off this thought. The shit is too chaotic for me. It's too chaotic for me. So I shut it down because it's like, if I'm under, like this person is speaking and this is what I want to respond to. Now programming and processing their information at the level I need to understand and communicate with them at that level. Then the shit switches and it's a whole different motherfucker. Now I got to come down here. It's a whole different motherfucker. I got to go back up here. I got to go up here. And then by the time it's time for me to talk, it's bounced around so many times. So Clubhouse has reached a point where it's like, there is no communication. It's just motherfuckers waiting for another motherfucker to talk. That's why motherfuckers start over talking. And that's why people can't, and then even that, because of that, people don't want to actually converse. People want to talk to where they're like, okay, I'm going to say this. And this person says this. And it's like, nothing is really being communicated. People are just expressing thoughts. They're talking. You feel me? It is literally like, finally, you can see the real time aspect of what it's like making a status on social media or tweet. How you be thinking about the status and you just post it. And then you can have these conversations and anybody can talk about whatever. Now, this is what it is, what it would be like and how crazy it would really sound if we walked around all day just quoting tweets and just saying shit. You feel me? Because we're not effectively communicating at the right levels. You dig what I'm saying? And I'm tying this back into surprising because it's like, it's the thought that counted. It's the thought that counted. So people think, okay, well, saying you would like Clubhouse. And I'm not mad at them for that because that's what it was. So when I pulled up in Clubhouse, I said, nah. You feel me? And again, it's based off of the thought process of, well, you do speak, you got good thoughts, you speak, you have the podcast and everything. I know you'll be a great contribution to Clubhouse, and I will be a great contribution to Clubhouse. However, not in a setting where I have to bounce around multiple times. Because it's like communication, effective communication, true communication, you have to be able to understand the level at which the person is communicating so you can give it back to them. People don't understand when you're speaking and communicating, there's not a universal way to speak to every single person. Every person has to be on a level. You have to be at their level of understanding in order to get through to them, to speak with them. I can't necessarily tell you to come up to my space. You feel me? And sit up here with me and stay here because then that shit stretches you, it expands your mind too much. You feel me? But again, that was one of those things that I didn't like the surprise. Clubhouse was a surprise. It was a new app. It was all that. So when the surprise was presented to me, it was like, here, I checked out the surprise. I didn't like it. You feel me? It's no harm, no foul, no shade to those people. It's like, nah, I couldn't do Clubhouse. Oh, well, I gave you my invite and this, that, and the third. And it's like, I know you only get one invite, but I got multiple invites from multiple people. I just acted on one. But it's like, there was no point in being up there anymore. Because Clubhouse is literally just that, a clubhouse. You're just talking. There's nothing of substance in there. Not on any funny shit. Like, you got to filter it out. But in the grand scheme of it all, what is like the accomplishment, that surprise? I'm tying that into this episode because it's like that surprise necessarily didn't have the full thought, because you would have to know me in that regard. Now, this goes to the other side of it, because I'm not faulting those people for wanting to invite me to Clubhouse or anything like that, because they only knew they were only able to think about what I presented. So they think because, he speaks, he has good topics, he has good things that he could talk about. They don't know the backside of how I communicate my messages. You feel me? If they would have known that, there would have been no point in them saying, hey, you should come to Clubhouse. But they didn't know that. You see what I'm saying? Now, this ties into when you're surprising somebody, you have to be able to know what they think for the thought to count. You feel what I'm saying? Not what you know about them, but what they think to know if the thought can count. You feel what I'm saying? Because knowing of somebody and actually knowing them is two different things. And on an even higher level, understanding that person makes the surprise that much better. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of us, we are surprising people we do not understand. We are trying to surprise things and situations and circumstances with things that we don't understand. And this is why we get frustrated when we get surprised by things that we don't understand. And then it's like we are guilted into taking on these things. It's like, it's the thought that counts. It's this. No, you don't understand me. This is not even what I like. You don't understand who I am. So if you don't understand who I am, how the fuck can I receive a surprise from you? Because what is the purpose of you doing this surprise? You are surprising me as a means to give me something, right? But it's at your benefit. You feel what I'm saying? You are trying to surprise me to make yourself feel good about quote unquote giving. You are literally giving to receive something, which is something everybody says don't do, because people say, well, now you're supposed to give with a cheerful heart. We're not receiving anything. No, everybody gets the law of compensation. You give to receive. Like, you can't in one breath tell somebody they reap what they sow and then expect them not to give without wanting something back. But because we don't do physical compensation, because we don't do reciprocity the right way, our compensation now is tapped into how something can make us feel on our own personal level. So this is why the thought counting has nothing to do with you, has everything to do with me and how I'm going to get my compensation. And my reciprocity for doing something for you, I can receive something back without you actually having to give me anything. You feel what I'm saying? You don't necessarily have to give me anything back. And it's like, oh, I just did it just to do it. No, you didn't. Nobody does anything just to do anything. It's natural law. Whether you think because I don't do anything for something physical that I'm not doing it for anything. No, you are still. Myself included. I don't give a fuck. Everything I put into this world, everything that I give people is to get something back. Whether that be whether that be a compensation in currency, actual payment. You feel what I'm saying? Whether I get the reward of knowing that you're now doing something different with your life. There's something I'm getting out of what I'm giving you. I don't give you shit for free. But because people do not physically pay for everything, they think they're getting free shit. No, I want you to do something with the shit I give you. You feel me? I want you to pay attention. I want something out of it. You feel me? But it's what I want. You dig what I'm saying? Everybody wants that. But the surprise thing is our own way of saying, do I really know this person? I want this person to know how I feel about them. And I want this surprise to be what tells me how they feel about me. That's an illusion. That's an illusion if you think that's going to be what determines how they feel about you, because it's going to fuck you up if you don't really understand that person. You can't surprise somebody you don't understand. So it's not the thought that counts. Fuck the thought counting if you don't understand this person. Don't make sense. Why would you get them that? Why would you do that for them? You feel me? Because it's the lack of understanding about this person. But it's the desire to be compensated for what I've done to this person. I do everything out of the kindness of my heart. Yeah, whatever. Nobody does anything out of the kindness of their heart. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. I gotta call it for what it is. Everybody, you can say that. You may have thought at one point, I don't do anything. I don't do anything for anything. You feel me? Sometimes you just want a simple appreciation. You want a simple head nod. You feel me? A simple thank you would suffice. You feel what I'm saying? But you want something. Nobody's doing anything for nothing. Like I said, it's a basic law of the universe. The law of compensation is wired in our code to do something. You feel me? Motherfucker will tell you reap what you sow. Oh, so I'm sowing something so it can grow and I can reap it and get something back. But yet I'm being told that you have to do without wanting something back. The fuck is the purpose of reaping what you sow? You feel me? Can't be both. It can't be both. But the law of compensation is you reap what you sow. The law of compensation is not give and that's it. No, it's reverberation. You get something back. You give to get something back. Period. You feel me? But when you're not able to do that shit, that's where surprises come in. You're out here surprising motherfuckers just so you can feel good about how you gave them the surprise and you can brag and tell, yeah, I did this for this person, this, that, and third, and then you can throw it in their face later. You feel me? Not on no fucked up shit, but I've yet to see a motherfucker actually surprise a motherfucker. In my lifetime, I have yet to see any motherfucker who said I don't do shit without wanting something back, who didn't complain when they didn't get anything back for giving something. You feel me? As simple as you could have said thank you. That's wanting something back. Period. I don't give a fuck. Well, no, it's common courtesy to say thank you. It's not common courtesy to say thank you. You feel me? Because what if I didn't want what you gave me? Why am I thanking you for what I didn't want? You feel what I'm saying? Like, it goes back into no. It goes back into these aspects of, I didn't want this. Why am I thanking you for what I didn't want? Because I gave it to you. So I got to thank you for giving me what the fuck I didn't want because it benefits you. You could have said thank you. A simple thank you would suffice. Thank you goes a long way. Please and thank you. The fuck? I don't know. The fuck? I don't have to say thank you if I didn't want it. You feel me? I'm giving thanks to something that I didn't want. No wonder motherfuckers are ungrateful. People think people are ungrateful because they don't say thank you. No, motherfuckers become ungrateful because they're saying thank you for shit they don't want. How many times have you received some bullshit and you said thank you for it? That's why motherfuckers are ungrateful. Not just because they're ungrateful. They're ungrateful because they're giving thanks to things that they don't want. It's a mind fuck. It's an embedded mind fuck. I always say thank you. I always say, for what? Because when I don't say thank you, that is how I'm now calibrating you to what I really like. If everything you give me, I say thank you for, when you surprise me with some shit that I don't like, I can't say no to it. I can't tell you, I don't really like this. You feel me? Because that's our subconscious and unconscious database. Every time you tell me thank you for something that I give you, I now calibrate to what you like. When you say no to what I give you, I now know what you don't like. But if you accept everything, you take on everything and you thank me for it, you give me gratitude for that. You feel me? I am going to give you, oh, well, I gave you this last time. You said thank you. Oh, I was just being nice. Oh, so you lied. No, I wasn't lying. I was just, you see how the slippery slope goes? That's lying when you're thanking somebody for some shit you don't even want. That's ungrateful. That's ungrateful, in my opinion. Me not accepting something I didn't want isn't ungrateful. You feel me? Me thanking you for some shit that I didn't want, that's very ungrateful, because it's like, what does that do now when you throw the surprise? I thought you liked this. You thought wrong. Well, I said thank you because you gave it to me. It was what it was. Now you see it sitting in the dust. You feel me? Motherfuckers repackage Christmas sweaters and give them back to the motherfucker that bought them rather than saying I just didn't like it. You feel me? Oh, because thank you. Thank you so much. You feel me? Call kids ungrateful because Christmas. See, now this is where we fucking this shit up right here, because I got to be on the kid side for this. When you ask a child what they want, this is why our surprises are fucked up. We ask, and it's like it's internalized, and this is also why we get greedy. This is why we get so materialistic. All of the shit. This is what this fucking season is designed for. We're not even in the season, but this is what that fucking season is designed for. You feel me? You tell a kid, make your list. You make a list of all of the things you want. All of the things you want. And I get you none of that. But I tell you to be grateful for what I did get you. The fuck you asked me for the list for? What the fuck you tell me asked me what did I want? And you got me something anyway. Well, I didn't get you quite this. I get you a substitute for it. And I get it. I get it. Sometimes this may have been cheaper. Sometimes this may have been that. But the child was specific in what they want. They let you know what they want. Then you surprise them with what they did not want. It's the thought that counts. Still say thank you. Did you think about it? Because I wrote down specifically what I wanted. Now I get it. Well, I couldn't afford it. I couldn't do this. Now you have to internalize the fact that you're now raising materialistic children who want things that you can't afford. So you're having children make lists for things that you cannot afford. And you're telling them they want, like, I got a nephew right now. He's like, he want a 4-wheeler for his birthday. Don't ask me. I'm not even going to give him. I'm not even planting that seed for him. No, I'm not buying him no fucking 4-wheeler. Fuck no. I'm not even chipping in for that shit. I can't. I'm not buying a 4-wheeler for myself. Fuck that. I'm not about to plant that seed that just because you want it, you can get it. Now, off that other side, you have to explain. Oh, nah, we can't put that down into paper. Let's lower it down a little bit. Start living within your means. Holidays, we embed in our children for 18 years that they don't have to live within their means for this one particular moment. You feel what I'm saying? Because we go for broke with it. You feel me? But that's a whole different dynamic. Some people go for broke with it. You know, some people got it. You feel what I'm saying? But this is the point that I'm trying to make. When you get that kid, that gift that they wanted, and they're like, oh my gosh, I got what I wanted. You see? The kid was grateful. They can thank you for that. They can give you gratitude because you gave them what they wanted. You surprised them with what they wanted. The thought counted. The thought actually counted because it was what they thought about. But then you see the kids like, oh, these kids just spoiled rotten. They just stand a third. Well, you surprised them with something they didn't want. You as an adult don't even like that shit. You feel me? But we wonder where it starts. Oh, you going to accept it? I'm going to take it all back. Well, take it back, motherfucker. I ain't want it. The fuck? It ain't going to hurt me. Because you didn't. We don't even pay attention to the fact when we threaten children with that shit. Like, I'll take it back if you don't want it. I didn't want it in the first place. Take that shit back then. Take that shit back then. You ain't have to get nothing except what I wanted. And you didn't get me what I wanted. You got me what you thought I should like. That means you're not paying attention to me as a person. You're not paying attention to me as a human. You're only paying attention to yourself and how you want this situation to make you feel, how you can be compensated for this. You dig what I'm saying? And then you want to feign victim and you want to play the role like somebody did something wrong to your ass because they didn't want what you surprised them with. Because you don't even really know what they want. You know that you want to feel a certain way for giving them something. Don't. You feel what I'm saying? Don't do no shit like that. Sometimes the gesture, even though the gesture does sound good and it seems good, if you don't understand this motherfucking person, the surprise can be bad. You feel me? Imagine buying flowers for the love of your life and she's allergic to fucking the flowers you buy. You don't know shit about her allergies. I'm going to surprise her with some flowers. What kind of flowers you like? You feel me? What kind of flowers don't you like? You feel me? What kind of this? And I'm going to switch it up because everybody get roses. I'm going to get her some peonies. You feel me? Bring her the peonies and fucking she breaks out in hives. What the fuck? I'm allergic to peonies. Oh shit. I didn't know. But it's the thought that counts, motherfucker. Be grateful. You be grateful you got some flowers that gave you some goddamn allergies. You better be grateful you got some flowers that gave you the hives. It's perspective, man. I know that was humorous, but that's what the fuck the response is like. Just imagine that. Next time you think about a motherfucker surprising you or you surprising a motherfucker, think about that example, yo. You better be grateful you got some hives, nigga. Oh shit. That one hit the funny bone, bro. Like that one hit me hard. I'm sorry. Let me sip my tea a little bit. Oh shit. Cause that's what it be like though. It'd be like, well, that's how it is when with the surprise, when we surprise somebody with something that we don't understand about them. And we think it's the thought that counts. No, bitch, that was life and death, motherfucker. They broke out in hives. They allergic to that shit. You dig what I'm saying? My brother, he don't eat seafood, like at all. So, you feel me? I wouldn't surprise him with a fish fry. You feel me? Hey, yo, bro, I got you some food. Yo, what'd you give me? A fish sandwich. What the fuck you give me a fish sandwich for? Bruh, you said get you something simple. You don't eat no fucking fish. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it'll be some shit like that. But like, it's the thought that counts, motherfucker. I ain't had to get you no food. Shit. You could have starved. Or, bitch, you could have got me something I'm going to eat. The fuck? Me and my brother have never had this conversation. I'm speaking hypothetical because I know my brother doesn't fuck with fish. You dig what I'm saying? So if it's like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to get him seafood. Like, that was the example that I'm using. Like, because I understand I can't surprise him with something like that. You know what? I'm going to switch it up. You know, he always eat chicken sandwiches. I'm going to get him a fish sandwich just because it's different. No. When you ever see me, like, you know, he's like, yo, you ever see me eat fish? Nah, I didn't. You know what I mean? Like, he's allergic to the shit. I think. Unless he just really don't like it that much where it makes him sick. I don't know. But whatever the case may be, it's like, he don't fuck with fish. So I'm not going, you know what I mean? I'm not even going. And it's so, I think it might just be an allergy to it too, because like you can't even cook in like, you can't even use like fish grease or any, like, you can't mix shit like that any way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? But that would be like, you know, it's like that. This is how we look at surprises. I know it started off one way. Now bring the shit to fucking reality. You feel me? Bring the shit to motherfucking reality. You surprise a dope fiend with an intervention. Okay, that one's different. It's the thought that counts for real, because you trying to say they motherfucking like, never mind. I shouldn't have used that one. But it's like, what happens when they blow up? Bitch, I ain't want to be here. The fuck? We're trying to save you. Did I say I want my motherfucking life saved? Yo, interventions are hilariously not funny. But it's like, damn, bro. They be something like, bitch, did I say I want to be saved? What? Okay. But nah, that's the point that I'm trying to make. That's what I'm tying into with this shit. the power of it, because it's one thing to say, yo, be grateful. Right. Just imagine that shit. You get somebody some roses or some daffodils or some flowers and shit that they allergic to, and they break out in hives. Their throat swells up and they almost die. Are you still gonna tell that motherfucker to be grateful because it was the thought that counted? No, you're gonna accept that, damn, I should have thought harder. My thought was fucked up. Now I gotta eat that shit. There's always duality. There's always another side to it. When we could take our egos out of the shit and stop thinking, yo, I ain't have to get them shit. You didn't. Say those words one more time. You didn't have to get them shit. But what you chose to get them was to satisfy your own motherfucking ego. It wasn't even for them. This is why you mad. You feel me? If I buy a motherfucker some shit and they be like, I don't want it, I'm not mad at them. Well, damn, you just wasted your money. Well, I shouldn't have spent my money on some shit that I didn't know. Because clearly I was wrong. Trial and error. Let me start over. I know you don't like this. I know not to spend money on this shit again. You dig what I'm saying? I remember back when I was like a teenager and shit, I had to be like 13 or 14, right? And it's like every year, my mom would get, the BOD body spray collection and shit for Christmas and shit for us. You feel me? Well, for me, because, I'm a 13-year-old. BOD smells good. When you're 13 and 12, BOD smells good. You smell like a fucking man. Still when you're that young. You feel me? I don't know what the fuck happened, if it was just rites of passage, just the way my body changed. You feel me? But I started getting allergic to BOD spray. It will make me sneeze every time I, what I'm saying? I think it really started when I was 14. And I remember because it was that Christmas. She bought me some and I sprayed it on, like, yeah, we better, and I just kept sneezing. She's like, what is that? I said, I don't know it. I just couldn't stop it. Kept sneezing and shit. And then it was like, oh, it's the BOD. You feel what I'm saying? It's the BOD. Okay, cool. So I stopped using the shit. The next Christmas, my mom bought me some cologne. She didn't buy me BOD. Me forgetting I'm allergic to the shit, because I'm really not allergic to anything. I don't know what the fuck it was about the BOD. I don't know if it's that particular bottle or whatever, but it just didn't work with me no more. It just kept making me sneeze. So the next year, I'm low-key about to get mad because she ain't have, she ain't have my BOD body kit. It had 3 different distinct smells every year. And I was like, where the BOD at? She said, BOD makes you sneeze. You surprised me. And the thought fucking counted. Okay, I see you, mama. I see you, baby. You feel me? That thought counted because you fucking thought about it. You feel me? Oh, he's allergic to BOD. I'm not buying that shit no more. Why am I surprised with some shit he's allergic to? You feel me? So now, saying thank you is, be great. No, if I don't say, you feel what I'm saying? It's different. It's different. Now I can be grateful for the shit. Now I can be grateful for the shit because it aligned with what I wanted. You feel me? It aligned with what I wanted. Every Christmas. Well, I've been off because it was been hard to find them. But every Christmas, I buy my sister the black holiday Barbie of the year. Every year. You feel me? And it started because I remember seeing that my grandma bought her one. I think my grandma gave her that. She had a 1997 one. The fucking 2000. I just wanted to keep it up. So I remember I got her the 2010, 2011, 2012, and I just kept it going. And, I will always be like, everybody was like, yo, why you gonna get your sister some Barbies? I remember when I was going to get it, I was in Fayetteville. I was at in undergrad and shit, Fayetteville State. And so I'm going in the store, Christmas, they were like, you gonna get your sister a Barbie? Ain't she older than you? Yeah. Why you gonna get her a fucking Barbie? Get her some clothes or some shit. This is my sister. This is our connection. And this is how I get her Christmas gifts. Leave me the fuck alone. But is she a grown woman? You think she really gonna want a Barbie? It's the sentimental connection to what the Barbie is. My grandmother bought her the black holiday Barbie, or the black, it's like, she got a 90, she had I think she got a 97 graduation Barbie that she did not open. She got the 1980 Barbie, black Barbie with the afro, she did not open. She's collecting these things. So I said, oh, I got you. You're collecting them. So when I surprised her with the first one that I bought her, she said, oh my gosh, you got me to, and I was like, that's it. That's it. The surprise worked. Do you know why the surprise worked? Because I thought about it. You know why I thought about it? Because I understood the person that I was surprising. You feel me? You got to understand the motherfucker that you surprising in order to get them a fucking surprise. Otherwise, your motherfucking ass is going to pull up with some motherfucking flowers that's going to give them hives. And you're going to be mad to them, bitch, be grateful that you got some motherfucking flowers to give you the hives any goddamn way. And don't forget to take a moment to go get your exclusive merchandise from Just Scenes merch. At Just Scenes, each piece is specifically crafted with positive imagery and symbolism. From the titles and designs to the descriptions, each style gives you something to feel great about. With everything from hoodies and tees to coffee mugs and tote bags, we have something for the entire family. So be sure to get yours today. Find us on Instagram at Just Scenes merch and get your merchandise right now. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up there. I'll wrap it up there for real. But really, I wanted to switch gears a little bit, talk about that, man, because everybody talk about it's the surprise that counts. I mean, it's the thought that counts. Surprise. Nah, it's not always that, man. You got to understand who you surprising. You feel me? And you got to remove your own ego from the shit. You feel me? And you got to remove your own inability to say no and your own inability to accept no as an answer. Motherfuckers will literally tell you no. And because we can't accept no as an answer, a lot of motherfuckers won't tell us no. So we'll end up surprising them with some shit that'll fuck us up. That'll fuck them up. They don't like, oh, I bought you this and you don't wear it. You're buying shit they don't like. You're buying shit they don't want. That's your fault. Stop trying to victimize and play victim because you choose not to understand or even spend enough time to know what this person really wants. What would really make them feel good in a surprise? You feel me? I can't just pull up on a motherfucking surprise. Like, as dudes, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't just surprise her with dick, bro. You feel me? Some of us do. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, and this is why a lot of us are getting bad raps now. Because you can have a good conversation in the DM. It goes down in the DMs. As soon as the shit, like, you fucking send a dick pic after that. That's not a surprise she wanted, stupid motherfucker. Conversation was going good. Send her a dick pic. So now when the motherfucker with a real decent conversation, like, she's expecting shit. You feel me? She's expecting, okay, here's the shoe about to drop. You feel me? I was talking to this woman years ago. I think I had to be 26. No, I definitely was 26. So we having a dope ass conversation. We vibing for a good couple weeks and shit. And she's like, I'm surprised you ain't sent me a dick pic yet. I said, the fuck am I gonna send a dick pic for? The fuck? She said, well, by now, usually, you know, most of the men that I be knowing, they be sending dick pics. I said, ma'am, you're 9 years older than me. What the fuck is you? Who the fuck are you connecting with where after a week, after 2 days, they send in a dick pic? I said, oh shit. I should have evaluated then, like, we in two different spaces. If I'm 26 years old, you 35, and the men in your pocket just sending you dick pics after 2 conversations, whew, you need help. Your dating life different. But anyway, that's the thing. You're surprising them with something they don't want. You feel me? Oh, nah, man, she's posting titties and showing all this shit on social media. Doesn't mean she wants a dick pic. Don't surprise her with some shit she don't want. My sisters, same shit. You feel me? Same shit. Don't do no stupid shit unless you on that type time. You feel me? I'd never forget. This was I ain't gonna hold you. Like, this was the fucking dopest shot ever shot at me. Shit worked. It switched like a motherfucker. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, you know what I'm saying? We cool now. Like, I don't think we can cross the line, but we cool and shit. So I was like, I think I made a post or some shit about fuck news. I said, fuck news. Send me a picture of you being able to take care of some plants. This motherfucker sent me a picture with her, you know what I'm saying, watering some plants naked. I said, touche. I could fucks with that. Like, that surprise was warranted. Like, you know, but prior to her sending me that, it wasn't like just a random motherfucker. It was somebody that I had spoken with on multiple occasions. So when the shit happened, it surprised the fuck out of me, but it was a surprise I was able to receive. It was a surprise I wasn't like, damn. It was like, yo, and then you sent, okay, yo. And so I was like, all right, you know, I fucks with it. But the reason why I was saying that is because, you know what I mean, it's like, it happened in the sense of it being a surprise, and the thought really fucking counted. Yeah, I don't have to say, yo, think harder or some shit like that. Cause there's been times, where I've rekindled the motherfucker just bam, some titties just pop up. I didn't tell you to send me no titties. They nice, but I didn't tell you to send me your titties. You ain't gonna send me nothing back. Fuck for. No. For one, I don't send that shit across the internet anyway. What the fuck we gonna do with it? The fuck you want me to lick my screen or some shit? Oh, her titties are on the screen. Fuck, I'm gonna send you a picture of my dick for you. Can't suck it for me, motherfucker. Shit. That's stupid as fuck. You feel me? The fuck? It's like, yo, I just want to see it. For what? You can't do shit where you gonna lick the fucking screen, idiot. I can't feel it. You feel me? My bad. I don't mean to say idiot like that. Like, I mean, I'm real with this shit because it's like that shit's stupid. I never understood sexting. I mean, I get sexting. Don't get me wrong. Like, I can tell you some motherfucking stories. But like sending the pictures and shit with the intent of I need to have it. For fucking what? You can't do shit with it. Like, I'm sorry, like, I don't get it. But anyway, I'm wrapping it up. Surprising people. It's like, you feel me? You have to have the thought behind it. You feel what I'm saying? You have to have a thought behind it. And you have to have the thought of the understanding of the person. You feel me? There's so many different ways we surprise people and we get surprised. And sometimes we have to also take into, as I close it in, we have to take into what we're projecting off as understanding that makes people want to surprise us a certain way. You feel me? I tell the story of a whole miscommunication with the woman who, you feel me? She was shooting her shot at me by, and she told me this. She said, I want to find a way in by having something that I can give you. Okay. I don't mix business and pleasure. You feel me? She didn't understand that about me. I didn't reveal it until it was already in the moment of, yo, are we going to talk or we not? Nah, because we working on a business project. Like, you feel me? And she was like, well, I mix business and pleasure. I don't. So let's draw it here. You feel me? The surprise was, bam, okay, look, you rock with this. Oh, shit, I needed that information. Bam, she probably knew something that I really needed. The thought counted. She understood what I'm saying? She understood the power of the surprise. I can't take that from her. I respected that and appreciated it. I appreciate it. But however, the surprise wasn't what I could accept because of what it came with. You dig what I'm saying? So I had not put out that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm big, and it's like, this is one of the fucked up parts about being so transparent. People think they know to fool you. You know what I've shown you, motherfucker. You got to think transparency. I think people think transparency is revealing everything, and that's where the problem is. Transparency is the glass cover over a picture that's transparent. All you know is what this picture is. You don't know when that picture was taken. You don't know the conversation prior to that picture. You don't know everything that led up to that picture. You know the picture that you're seeing, and you're able to see that through the transparent lens. That's what transparency is. So the fact that I might say something on social media, the fact that I might say, that doesn't give you the credence to say that you understand me enough to surprise me with some shit. This just happened to be one of those situations in which you work. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I've had women send me books and I don't like the book. Oh, I thought you would like this. Why? Because you read? Well, because I read. Okay, now what do I read? The fuck? You can't just send me some shit like that because, you feel me? Like, I've gotten whole complex information, books and shit that I'm not going to read because it's like, oh, I thought it was about science. The fuck? Did I say I wanted that book? It's the thought that counted, see? I didn't tell you to get this shit. I didn't say I fuck with any of this shit. You feel me? But then I've had women so intuitively pay attention to me that, you feel me? They'll give me something for my birthday and it'll be books, but it'll be books that they know I'm going to fucking read because they've heard me talk about the author. They heard me talk about the content of a previous book. They'll give me something new in a series. They surprised me with something and the thought counted because they understood what the fuck I wanted. you know? Same shit. I've got homegirls and shit, you know, ex. I don't like saying exes because I really don't have but one. Everybody else, because we all cool. Everybody else I can still fuck with. Like, I don't know. Like, I get back with you on some shit. Like, we ain't got no bad blood. But it's like, when I was surprised, like, yo, how did you know? I paid attention. I understand what you like. That's when you know a surprise hits. A motherfucker will say, how you know I wanted this shit? Well, you kind of hinted at it all the fucking time, you know? You circled everything on this particular thing. You constantly leave this face up. Little shit like that. You pay attention. So you surprise a motherfucker with the shit. That's how you surprise, because you got to understand it. You feel me? So it's about understanding and being understood that you want to be surprised. I know motherfuckers be like, sometimes I just want to surprise. Do motherfuckers understand you enough to surprise you? No. You feel me? Gonna do no shit like that. You pull up on a motherfucker who been to war and got PTSD and you have party streamers at your party. When you surprise them, oh, you getting everybody fucked up that night. Pop, pop, pop. Oh shit, they shooting. Everybody's getting fucked up because it's Charlie everywhere. He gonna major pain that motherfucker. You feel me? But yeah, that surprises, man. The thought that counts. Is it the thought that counts? Nah, you know what I'm saying? And then like getting used to saying no. Getting used to saying no will prevent you from having surprise. Getting surprises you don't like, and having to worry about saying, oh, it's the thought that counts. Learning how to take no for a fucking answer will help you know how to spare your own personal feelings when you receive, when you receive a gift or something, a surprise that you didn't want. You feel me? Not saying thank you just for the sake of saying thank you. Nah, stop accepting shit like that. Don't just say thank you. You're taught as a kid. We got to break that conditioning, because that is what's going to give us the position to allow motherfuckers to know us. Allow motherfuckers to truly understand us. Stop accepting shit. Say, nah, I can't accept this because I don't like it. Okay. They're going to have to, yes, you got your receipt. Take it back. This doesn't mean don't buy me shit. This means buy me shit that I like. Buy me shit that I'm going to want. What's wrong with that? Think about that situation real quick. If I don't like something and you take it back, right? And now you're upset that you had to take it back. Oh, I wasted my money, rather than I bought something they didn't want. Do you see how much is revealed in those sentences? When you buy a motherfucker something, I'm like, I wasted my money on you. No, you didn't waste your money on me. You bought me something I didn't like because you didn't understand what I would like. You wasted your money on your own perception. It wasn't on me. You wasted your money on what you were trying to force on me. You feel me? So there was no surprise there. You feel me? But if we gotten used to where we can say, I don't like this. You feel me? You can start calibrating a lot more. Yo, I think this person likes this. This person doesn't like that. This person, I'm not going to fuck with this. You feel me? That's why, like, we in this situation right now, motherfuckers literally breaking out from hives because they getting the wrong flowers. You feel me? Breaking out from hives because we're getting the wrong flowers because we're allergic to the shit because we don't like it. Because the motherfucker don't understand us enough to actually get us what we want or get us what we like. They get us what they want us to have. Control, narcissism. But we can't say no because all of our lives we've been taught to say no. You feel me? I remember, this is no slight, I love my grandma to life, you know, rest her soul, you feel me? But because I didn't see my grandma, I think the first time I seen my grandma, I was like 12 or 11 or some shit like that. But anywho, I never grew up in my grandma's eyes. When I say never grew up in my grandma's eyes, never grew up in my grandma's eyes. I was always the baby. And that was me for the family. Like, you feel what I'm saying? I was like 9 or 10 years old when I first met a lot of my family. They was like, is that the baby? I'm not no fucking baby, bro. I'm a fucking pre-adolescent teen, whatever you want to call them, 9. But anyway, the point that I'm making is that, it's like, my grandma used to always send me toys in a box every Christmas. You know, we lived halfway. We lived literally across the country from each other. And it's like, I'm like 11. You feel me? I'm like 11. Therefore, my brother's like 17. So none of us really ever aged in her eyes. You feel me? She bought my 17-year-old brother a train set. I was too old for the train set, but she brought I played with it. She was like, I bought the train set for the oldest baby. My mom was like, huh? The oldest, he's she's all right. You feel me? My brother was like, she bought me a train set for her. You feel me? I'm fucking and smoking weed now. What do I need a train set for? Nah, but it's like we get caught up in that in the guilt aspect of it. We can't reject gifts like that. We can't like it's like, oh, it's the thought that count. They notice when you start to process that, you treat that shit with everybody. So now people can just surprise you at will and be like, well, nah, I gotta because we be internalized like this. If I gotta accept shit I don't want, motherfuckers gotta accept shit I don't. You know what I'm saying? It's the thought that account. Just because I get it, motherfuckers ain't thinking about shit no more. I'm not saying my grandma didn't think about the thought. She thought about her grandbabies. She just didn't know that we aged. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? My grandma, before she passed, she had 33 total. She can't count all of us. She can't worry about all of us. You feel what I'm saying? But she always looked out at Christmas. So for her aspect, it was a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? But it's like off the intimate level, the one-on-one level, bruh, how you going, like, you got to know this person, you know? But like I said, it's about us setting the boundaries. No, I don't want this. No, I don't like this. You know, no, thank you. Like, you could have said thank you. I didn't have to. No, I didn't. I couldn't have said thank you. That's why I didn't say thank you, because I didn't want this. I did not want this food, or I did not want this thing. You gave it to me. That doesn't mean I have to take it. And, you know, people have to get comfortable with seeing that. You know, you got to be like, if you get somebody something that say, I don't like it. All right, cool. Oh, see, now, not, no, seriously, it's cool. I'm not upset. Like, I've done that before. I gave something like, I don't really like this. And I was like, all right, that's cool. Oh, no. Season. No. I'm serious. I really have nothing there. It's almost like when I get in arguments with women, I stop talking and I'm like, yo, you right. They think I'm being funny. No, I really process that shit. You was right. I was wrong than a motherfucker. Like, and I really got to go back and say this shit like that. I'm like, you know what? You right. I'm done. Nah, see, you just trying to shut me up. No, you're right. And I break down, like, you hit this point right here, and that I was misunderstanding what you were saying. So you're right. Oh, yeah, motherfucker. Like, the fuck? It's not an emotional feeling of me trying to shut down. Like, you was right. You feel me? Same shit. Like, if I surprise somebody with something, I don't like this. All right, cool. I'll take it back. Oh, no. You ain't got to. No, seriously. Like, I'm going to take it back. You tell me what you like. I'll get something different. It was a surprise. I didn't know whether or not you like the shit or not. The fuck? It's a knee-jerk response. It's a trauma response to where when you hear somebody say some shit like that, you automatically feel like you got to defend yourself and down. No, I didn't like it. You didn't like it, so I'm going to take it back. Not in the sense like I'm angry or responding. No, I got you the wrong thing, clearly. I'll go back. I'm going to go back, replace it. You tell me what it is that you want. Like, because the surprise is done now. You feel me? Now you know that I'm trying to surprise you. Now I'm going to give you what you want. It's that simple. We're not able to effectively communicate like that. You feel what I'm saying? We're just able to talk to motherfuckers and shit and get upset and get angry, you know? So now when you hear a motherfucker say, I don't like that, don't get defensive and shit. Just be like, okay, it is what it is. You feel me? And it's hard to say that without them feeling the undertone because of what they are conditioned to and programmed to saying and shit. But I can keep going on about this. This was a good one for me. I'm glad it popped up. But I'm gonna end it there. Be sure to kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables and allow children as much as possible, because we got to break this conditioning, because a lot of it is the programming. We think children are disrespectful because they disagree. Children are not disrespectful for speaking their mind, for being honest. We tell them all the time, don't lie, and then we encourage them to lie. You feel me? It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Only way I can say it where it doesn't hurt your feelings is if I lie. But I got to tell the truth. You feel me? But we do that to the babies and shit. So make sure the babies are able to effectively communicate. When you start getting your kids shit, don't give them what the fuck you want them to have. Pay attention to what the fuck they want. And allow them to say, you know, to give the gratitude for what they want. Allow them to say, I don't want this, and reject it. So now you can start the process. I think my child's going to like this. Motherfuckers, kids be growing the fuck up and shit and completely change. Completely fucking evolve, and you just still buying them shit that you remember from 5 years ago. You feel me? It's like, the fuck? You feel me? Like, what the fuck are you like, you know, simple. You know, it's simple shit. Like, I had somebody, this was in recent times. I sold the motherfucker, don't get me wrong. Shit, whatever. Motherfucker bought me a video game. I was 27 years old. I hadn't played a video game since I was 20. It was like, yo, you want 2K? Nah. All right. It was like, all right, motherfucker got me 2K. And I was like, I don't even have a system, right? What? I thought you played. When have you ever heard me talk about 2K? When have you seen me play 2K? Nah, I just assume. Yes, you assumed for yourself. You feel me? But again, this ties back into when we're babies. You feel me? We got to make sure our babies are able to effectively communicate what they do and don't like. The ability to say no back without being like, no, I don't want this. Now, granted, you of course got to guide it, but sometimes you got to pay attention. You feel me? You got to pay attention. I'm not talking about all the stupid shit like, you feel what I'm saying? Oh, you gonna eat your vegetables. I always in this motherfucker make sure they eat their vegetables. Shit, ain't no knowing that shit. The fuck? You a child. But anyway, in the form of communication, of surprising them and getting them things and calibrating them to the things that they want, the things that they like, you have to understand that you cannot force the nose on them just because it's different. Like, give them, you have to say thank you for getting something you didn't like. Even if you don't like it, still say thank you. No, because now that teaches them that they can violate my boundaries. It's all subtle shit that you don't even pay attention to, because it's like, now you can violate my boundaries because it's the thought that counted. Fuck you and your thought, because it didn't count. The fuck? But anywho, don't let your babies get too old like us, where we now mad because, like, I can't stand a motherfucker that just can't say no. And we a motherfucker that just can't say no, which then in turn makes us take on surprises and shit that we don't like. And then we get mad at a motherfucker and we get guilted into some shit because it's the thought that counted. It's a slippery slope, people. And it starts in the baby and it starts at the baby's age. But as I say, go kiss your babies. Make sure to eat their vegetables. And I'm going to see y'all on the next one. Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom. I'm out.